Sweet, sweet Jamaica. Have you ever considered migrating to the mystical island of Jamaica? Join me, Michelle Moore, and special guests as we explore the world of Jamaica with those at home in Jamaica and those away in the diaspora, right here on the Home and Away Show. So Angela, tell us in more detail, what is it that really appeals to you in terms of living in Jamaica?
Normally it's the weather, but not necessarily just the weather on the coast. Everybody goes to the North Coast and thinks, oh, the North Coast is beautiful. But when you come inland, I mean, when you go into the country, when you go up to Linstead, when you go to Clarendon, when you go to St. Elizabeth, Rockabessa, St. Mary's, it's the whole atmosphere. It's the countryside, it's the air, it's the weather, it's the sun, it's the moon. Sometimes when I look outside and you look at the moon is right above you. You don't see that in the Northern Hemisphere. You get to see that because you're so close to the equator. Mm-hmm. I'm a bit passionate about the moon and the sun.
Wow. It must be an amazing feeling. How has it changed you, do you think, since spending your time living in Jamaica?
I'm a lot less stressed. I'm laid back. I haven't completely gone into the laid back lifestyle of Jamaica where what comes may come. But there's the rat race. Maybe because I wasn't working, the rat race seems a little less stressed.
Yeah.
It's really funny. English people go to the countryside. They go to Devon. They go to Cornwall. They go to the countryside for the weekends. I've never really wanted to do that, but when I'm in Jamaica, I want to go to the country for the weekend.
Yeah.
Not necessarily to a seed town, but I want to go to the country. I want to go into plantations and see coconut, stay in a little cottage somewhere, maybe with family or whatever, or friends. To me, that's what living's about.
Yeah. Really experiencing life as well. And the thing is, Jamaica's got so much to offer and everything is within easy reach, a drive away.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I must admit, coming back into town on a Sunday evening, you get a bit hot and sweaty and a bit dusty, but it's a different, it's the contrast. When I go up to where my mum comes from, I'm putting on my sweat socks and my sweat t-shirt because it's a bit nippy up there.
Was that Manchester?
No, see, up in Linstead, near up where the Blue Mountains are. So
okay.
on a Friday evening, when the clouds roll in, they literally roll in, and you're covered in cloud, and it's nippy. And people don't get to see that in Jamaica. They think it's all hot, but there are some cold places.
Wow, amazing. So you were working as an advice and guidance practitioner in London?
Yes. For
quite a few years before you decided to pack your bags and head over to Jamaica to settle down. Your career, has that changed direction?
Yes. The actual advice and guidance system in Jamaica starts from school. So they have a lot of career guidance, a lot of just general guidance from school days. I do like the way the Jamaican system is towards education. They strive for it.
You moved with 2 kids on your own, but you didn't really have much of an idea as to what was needed for you to, I guess, start a new life in Jamaica in terms of your applications and TRN and stuff like that. So you were kind of finding things out along the way.
You see, my case was kind of difficult because my husband, we met in Jamaica and he had his TRN, but he didn't have his passport. So it was the bureaucracy. So I knew about the places I had to go, but it's how long you have to wait. It's the paper filling. I'm not used to actual filling in paper. I'm used to filling in the computer system or going on a phone and things like that. That's where it was a struggle for me, dealing with actual people and saying, okay, paper's going to go in the drawer. It has to sit there for 6 weeks, and then you're wondering where it's gone.
How did you deal with all of that? Because obviously the pace is quite slow in many ways and it takes a lot of time to get things done in Jamaica. But at the same time, you've got to get those things done. So you have to persevere.
You do, and you've got to see your long-term goals. I needed my TRN. I needed my voter's card, which I still haven't got, by the way. I'm still waiting on that. You need all those things, so you have to be patient, and you learn that because we're lucky enough in the UK to have computer systems, and when they go down, everybody's hot on the tail of why the computer system goes. This is people doing the filing. These are manual files. So you're expecting things to get lost and to take a little bit longer, and so you sit back and you just wait for your time, and then if it still doesn't come, then you go in and you complain and you say, I was here 5 weeks ago, what happened to my stuff?
Yeah, then you start knocking on doors and pointing fingers,
and you get names. Yeah, I must admit, I did start to get names of who people I spoke to.
So what is it you're looking for now in terms of expectations?
Because I had been back and forth since I was 12, and I've got family out there, I got married out there, my husband was out there. I learnt a lot on my travels and my stay in there. So now it's about, bringing it all together and building a life, building the networks you need, securing the jobs, and just maintaining the pace, maintaining yourself, maintaining your children.
Oh, that's the thing. Children are a big factor as well that, comes into play. So obviously you've been there for a few months before coming back. Is there anything that you would say now you know better, you're going to do this a bit different, especially having 2 kids in the picture to consider?
Yes. One, I would use the yellow pages a bit more. Definitely use the yellow pages a bit more. Definitely use the internet. Things are starting to be produced on the internet. Things are starting to go up. People are starting to use it as a forum to get their information out, whether it's on businesses, careers, whether it's on jobs, finance. They are starting to use the internet a bit more.
So there definitely is an improvement, and I can see that over the last few years, things are starting to become a bit more digital, applications online, etc. But obviously, these things take time. Still a long way to go. What else do you think, in terms of the time that you spent there and your comparison, what do you think could help Jamaica improve and get to where it needs to get to?
Personally, it comes down to a little less on who you know and a little bit more on letting people in who have experience and qualification and the willingness to work.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's difficult for an outsider to come in because all the roles are taken. Even though you've got experience, you still have to know somebody in the company to get into the company. Where in England, they take you on your CV, they take you on your experiences, not necessarily who you know or which school you came from. Like, I mean, I've got cousins who went to Kingston College or Wilmers or, who are doing really well. However, my merit should be on my experience, not on their experience.
Sure. So really just accept people as individuals and based on their credentials and what they've achieved, and not so much looking about their postcode or postal area as to where they've come from. And I've heard that story before, actually. Some people can be very judgmental.
Oh, definitely. I actually live in the east of Kingston, which is near the airport, and it's old Kingston. So it's not up in Beverly Hills, it's not up in the Barbican, it's not on Waterloo Road, and I still think people think, why is she in there? She's English, she's British. Why is she sending their children to school down there? However, the community I live in are really nice. I mean, maybe because I've got old history there, that they are nice to me. But the school I found was very, very pleasant and actually very lovely, warm, genuine people who strive for their children. And as well as the community, there's a huge community that I am actually missing so much. I mean, I do miss taking the kids to school and the kids getting welcomed and blessed by everybody on the road, everybody doing their laundry and everybody who's just watering the garden saying hello to the kids, and the kids having that sense of belonging.
Wow, it's a huge difference, isn't it? It's something as small as that you remember and you start to crave after a while. It just becomes second nature, doesn't it, as well? You expect it, and it's just, how you feel that people should be treated and greeted, I love it. I absolutely love that community spirit. It's just...
I was about to say, do you find when you leave the house that people are open to talking to you and open to welcoming you and saying good morning and just the basic manners. I love that.
Exactly. Basic manners. You know, you walk into somewhere, you walk into a building, whatever it is, and it's acknowledging that person, that spirit, that being is there. And I just love that. And because it's become ingrained in me, it's kind of hard to lose.
Well, I also think it's got to do with going places, using your cars, not seeing people face to face, you know, not coming out your car. It's not good.
God, but Jamaica is just the little things, but they all add up. And you must know a lot of people that come back and forth from Jamaica and probably said one day they want to move out there, and one day, and they actually haven't yet. What do you think is keeping a lot of people stuck?
I was speaking to my friend that she had just come from her, and she said her mother was in her late 50s and wanted to go back to Jamaica and had planned to buy land and everything there. But once again, once you have children and grandchildren, you're cemented somewhere. And a lot of people find it hard to leave their loved ones, their children, their grandchildren behind, go back to life, which may not be that easy. And I'm not saying Jamaica is easy to go to, but once you get there, you see the prospects you have.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us are set in our ways of, we like Sainsbury's, like Tesco, excuse the pun. We like Amazon and getting things delivered. We like the post.
Yeah.
You know, but on reflection, that's not my life. My life is more than that. My life is community. My life is school. My life is church. My life is outdoors and meeting and greeting and seeing people.
I think you have to definitely go to test it out and see what works for you. But it's about changing your mentality, isn't it? Because I spoke to somebody recently who said she went to Jamaica, tried it for 3 months, and she just packed her bags and turned back to London because she couldn't deal with things just not being done on time.
Yes.
And things just not, being how she expects it. And I think that's a big issue, is that we have to go with no expectations or little expectation, and you just kind of go with the flow. But just changing our mindset that, you know what, you have to weigh things up in life, and what is more important to you, the quality of life, how you're going to bring up your children, how you're going to spend your retirement years, what is it that means more to you? Or accessibility, getting things delivered easier, fast. Everything's just fast paced in the Western world, So I think it's just really that question that people need to ask themselves deeply.
I do. I agree. I think we get trapped in England because of the money as well. The amount of money you can earn compared to how much you earn in Jamaica. But a lot of people don't see that the costs in Jamaica are not that high. They're not that high. That you can't sustain a good living out there.
Yeah, depending on the pay scale that you're on.
Yeah, true that, and the sort of lifestyle you want to lead as well.
Absolutely, it all balances out. Yeah.
I mean, as I said, there's some great little hotels out there. You don't have to go to the 5-star, big mass-produced hotel places to get a good holiday. You can go to a B&B or a country cottage and still get the same atmosphere, the same warmth, the same cooking, the same travel. And the same service in a little hotel. Yeah. I found that me and the kids enjoyed our holiday more, our holidays in Jamaica, like our summer holiday, our winter holiday, Christmas in Jamaica, a lot more, because we had the weather and we had good service. And good service is very important.
Has there been any feedback from your kids? Have they told you where they prefer to live or things that they don't like? Have they changed in any way?
Yes, they have. Being in England, my children are so much more materialistic. There's so much advertising geared up towards children.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
I mean, from McDonald's, we're in Jamaica, they were happy just going to the park.
Yeah, being outdoors.
They were happy to go to the zoo. They were happy to go to Hope Garden.
So, yeah, we're hoping for some positive change for Jamaica, because I believe that's what it needs. It needs some love and attention and more people to really invest and help with the redevelopment, because we can sit back and complain and compare, etc. But we actually need people to actually do stuff and make it happen.
There is a statistic that there's more Jamaicans outside of Jamaica than there is in Jamaica. And I think if we spent more money back home, people who want to stop leaving Jamaica to find a better life outside of Jamaica. And then, you know, some of the great talent that was being lost would stay. I mean, seriously, they've got some great minds in Jamaica. And they are just being, the money, the fame, the cars, the technology just make them excited to leave, when Jamaica was a great place to live, to bring up your children.
Absolutely.
To have a life, to have a home. I think that we need to, as you said, invest in our country and you know, invest in technology in our country, invest in high standards.
Definitely. You know, and I mean, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You know, we can look at how other countries are doing it and implement their systems. I mean, if something is successful somewhere else, then why not try to put it into practice in Jamaica?
My house manager back in Jamaica kept on saying, I'm going to get you into politics. I'm going to get you into politics, Angela. We need more women in politics. We need more intelligent people in politics. I'm like, we need less money grabbing people in politics and people who are more about community and about the actual development of the community, development of the people, development of the island. That's what we need. And a part of me, when I go back, I will see what that side of life has to say, whether it is a good thing to go into for me and for my children. At the moment, I'm engulfed in the politics in England and our manifestos from all 7, 8, 9, 10 different parties. And in Jamaica, I know people are just as passionate, but there needs to be more parties. There needs to be more choice.
I see what you mean.
That's one thing. I think there needs to be more choice in Jamaica. There's too few people actually willing to stand and say, you can have a different system. You can have a different way of thinking. You know?
This is where you are now. It's not the final stop, basically. It could be somewhere else. I do, and I always have seen myself living out my years in Jamaica. Always. I mean, there's no place like home, and I've always thought Jamaica's my home. It's funny, isn't it? Because obviously you're born in England, same with me, and we just have this natural pull and refer to Jamaica as home, and it's, you know, it's just what you feel, and that's the only best way I could describe it. Home is where the heart is, as I say.
Yeah, and people think home is Rastafarian and you know, weed smoking and partying, and there's so much more to Jamaica. There's so much more.
I know. Scrap the stereotypes. Get out there and have a look for yourself. There's so much to see. You know what? I was in the car just now and I was thinking to myself, if I could write down everything that I've learned, everything I've seen, everything I've heard, like Jamaica is just such a vibrant world of its own. The time that I spent living there, I can't tell you how much things I've seen and experienced. There's just always some kind of action.
I hear that.
It's amazing.
I hear that. It's also being an entrepreneur out there, to start things happening and to start things going. And it's really hard because you need money. You need less money in England to start a business than in Jamaica, which it's kind of weird. I actually felt that they didn't encourage people enough to start their own businesses. It was a struggle. It's a struggle where the government and people and the establishment should be making it easier for people to start businesses, like they did in China. You know, if you could come up with 10,000, whatever the Chinese equivalent to the pound, the government would support that because they know that businesses grow, and the growth will mean more GDP, and more export means more money for the country. You have to let your people grow their businesses.
Exactly. To grow within themselves and actually do something for the country and, you know, keep it sustained and generate more business on the island. Some things are so puzzling to me. And last year, Jamaica implemented this minimum business tax for all businesses, large or small.
Yeah, that's $30,000, wasn't it? 30,000.
Well, 60 for the year, but it was divided into two. And you had to pay that whether you were a sole trader or a registered business, regardless of your earnings, you know, for the year. And that was a minimum tax that they've implemented. I mean, there's just no incentive whatsoever. I
couldn't believe that, because a couple of people I was speaking to said, whether your business makes money or not, you had to pay that. Well, if your business is not making money, then you've got no money to pay. What is the point? You are just demoralising people before you've even started.
Exactly. You started in a deficit before you've even started. It's such a shame. It's hard. So I can see what you mean. You would need more money in Jamaica to start a business from scratch, from startup.
I so wanted to start up the egg production, because egg production in Jamaica, we have at certain times of the year egg production falls and the demand rises, i.e. Christmas, Easter, major holidays, and egg production falls, and they don't have the infrastructure and to get the eggs around the island at a cool temperature. Eggs perish quicker in a warmer country.
Right.
So they need transportation, which has got the cooling systems. So you're talking about spending money on vehicles to keep the eggs cool while you're distributing them, or your stock perishes quicker.
Right.
And I was so into getting the egg. I got my business plan up and everything like that, and then you get hit with 30,000 in the first 6 months, then another 30,000 in the second 6 months, and then you think, okay, where's this money being generated from?
Yeah. I don't know. I was going to say, what is the win-win situation? Do you start something up in the UK and then migrate it to Jamaica, or I don't know, save up a huge wad of money and take it over and start up your business?
You save up a huge wad of money, or you get investors from your friends, your family, who are willing to invest in you, because you are the business.
Right.
It's investing in you, because as long as you're off the island, your business is not going to run, and it's going to go anywhere. You need to be on the island with your business. So your friends, your family have to invest in your word, in you.
Definitely. Well, there's no stopping you. You're still determined. You're still going to keep on track.
Yeah. my goal is, to have the kids have a better life. I know that people in Jamaica wouldn't say that, or some people in Jamaica wouldn't say that, but living in both places, you get more for your money, you get less stress, you get more freedom, you get a better sense of well-being.
Do you feel like you're accepted by the people? Does it feel any different to you?
Now I've got a Jamaican passport, I'm no longer British.
Would you say that? Would you disown the British? You're no longer British?
I'm honest to God, I'm no longer British.
Why did you say that?
I have a British accent. I was born in Britain, but my heart and my passport, I have a Jamaican passport. I've got dual nationality, but my heart will always be Jamaican, and I will always be Jamaican. Okay,
so you will always be Jamaican, definitely, because you've got Jamaican blood in you. You were born British, Jamaican heritage, Jamaican blood. So you can't get rid of the British, really, because you're born British. You can't change where you were born.
It's funny that, because if you read through the British Constitution and everything like that, and the Jamaican Constitution, if your father and your grandfather were British, you automatically become British in Jamaica. It's in the Jamaican Constitution. You don't lose your British heritage just because you're born in Jamaica.
British by descent.
Once you have got a British father or a British grandfather, you are British. Well, in the same respect, I have a Jamaican grandfather, I have a Jamaican father, I have a Jamaican husband. I'm Jamaican.
I see. So, Angela, you're no longer British. You're Jamaican. So when are you going to start speaking like a Jamaican?
Never. It is so hard for me to lose my accent. It's so hard.
Are you trying, or is it just a natural thing?
I sound pathetic speaking patois. It's a shame. My 3-year-old can speak it like she was born out there. I think because I was born in East London, I'm Cockney. My accent is Cockney through and through. Sometimes I stop myself and say, Angela, that sounds so Cockney, it's unbelievable. You are so East London. You are so East London. But I've never been good at accents. Well,
you still got time. Still early days. It's been 4 years for me. It's been too long for me, and there's still no change. But it's just what comes natural, and everyone laughs at me. So I just kind of, don't try anymore.
There's no point. There's no point. I mean, I want people to take me seriously. So if you want to take me seriously, look past my accent. In fact, look past my hair. look past the skin and see the person who's going to produce stuff and gonna have high standards.
Absolutely. So, return to Jamrock sometime soon.
Yes.
All right. Well, great speaking with you. Thanks so much for sharing.
That's okay. We'll speak soon.
Take care.
Bye now.
Thank you for listening to the Home and Away Jamaica show. We'll be back soon with more from the series. If you would like to comment, suggest a topic or be a guest on the show, contact us at homeandawayjamaica.com.
Oh la 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 la. Bam bam. Oh la 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 la. Bam bam. Oh la 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 la. Bam bam. Oh la 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 la. Big it up. Oh la 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 la. Big it up. Oh la 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 la. Bam bam. Bir bam bam bir bam bir de. Bir bam bam. Bir bam bir de. Bir bam bam bir bam bam bir bam bir de. Bir bam bam. Bir bam bir bam 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 bam. Bir bam bir de. Bir bam 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 bir bam bir de. Bir bam bam. Bir bam 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 bam. Bir bam bir de. Boom. In a club, in a sweat, our dance bam bam. Mr. DJ, do a play bam bam. On the TV, bam bam. On the street, bam bam. In a class, bam bam. In a preacher, bam bam.